John, what do you set out to achieve this week, apart from obviously winning Texas?
Well, playing with good intensity, playing with good form. That's what we'll be aiming for, and seeing what level we can play at over the 4 quarters.
Obviously, they're going through a lot at the moment, and it appeared to affect them last week. Do you worry at all about what's going on there and what your players may have to guard against, a galvanised response?
Yeah, not really, no. No, our preparation is around just going out playing good footy. Nothing should change our attitude to going out to play. It's got to be our strong focus. So, we're going to make sure that because England retained the Ashes, it's not going to put us off. Stay focused. You had to think about that one, Duff, for a second.
I did, yeah. What areas of their game do you think you have to guard against? Where can they get you?
Well, they're a good running team, good midfield again. Led by Watson and obviously Goddard and Stanton and these guys. So I think they're just they've got good balance right across the field. Their backs are going really well, and they've got a dangerous forward line. So overall, we're just playing against a team that is, right up that top end of the ladder.
John, it's been a tough year. What would a good away win at this stage of proceedings do for the fabric of the football club?
It builds on, winning last week, but that's about all. We've got a pretty strong fabric here. Our culture is around always striving to be the best we can be and keep improving. So a win is not necessarily the be-all and end-all. It's around the attitude you bring about striving to build a team that's good enough to win premierships down the track. So, effort and intensity is a big focus this week. We all play sport to be involved in wins where possible, but we also play sport to achieve at our best in any given time.
Do you use these last 4 games, Woosh, to sort of start working on next year?
Well, you're doing that regardless. You're doing that throughout whole seasons and sometimes a year or 2 in advance. So we've got an eye to what our team will look like next year for sure at the moment. But, Adam Carter playing some senior footy and Blaine Wilson been great, learning about Mark Hutchings and, can go through all those guys and different roles for Gaff this year. Have all been, they're things that we would have been keen to look at anyway this year, regardless of our current position.
Repeat a bit of a cliche then, I suppose, with the long injury list you've had. These guys probably wouldn't be playing if you were at better personnel strength. So is that one of the advantages of an injury-racked year?
Well, one of the outcomes of not having some of your senior players out there is that it opens up opportunities for other players to play. So whoever those players are, whether they're first-year players or guys like a Dalziel that's been a bit on the fringe as a more senior player in terms of age, opens up opportunities for them to show what they can do and convince people that they've got plenty to offer.
Who can you single out that in the last week or two, throwing a name at you? Dalziel is someone who's possibly been pushed toward best on ground type of stuff, but who can you single out that has grabbed that opportunity in the last few weeks?
I think all those guys have. Blaine Wilson, Scotty Lycett. We talked about what Adam Carter showed, all the signs that we were hoping we would see from him in the games he's played, and I would say just been really pleased with all those guys.
What sort of personnel can you count on getting back for this week to add to what you talked about?
Well, they're all possibilities at this early stage. Our main session's tomorrow, so Marston moving really well. A lot surprising in terms of.
Just expand on him before you give us other notes, because he's surprised that he's even available for a test. So just a bit more about what happened with him and why he's coming good.
Well, he rolled his ankle, but more midfoot than ankle, and he was on crutches for 3 or 4 days. So plenty of ice, plenty of rest, and then started building up. And our expectation was his first run on it wouldn't have been until this week, but he did that last week and felt good doing it. So everything's fast tracked there. Pritis is we're confident, but again, got to prove that that he's over his injury. Lacra's feeling good, so he'll step it up tomorrow, and we'll have a look at him. And then out of the injured guys, I think that's the main ones.
Ruling out Shuey?
Ruling out Shuey, yep.
What about the 5 guys who played well in the Worsfold?
Yep,
Saturday?
yeah, all available for selection. Yep.
No definitives at this stage?
No.
How did Kerr's knee pull up?
It pulled up reasonably well. He did have an issue with it during the game, but he played out the game, and it seems to have pulled up pretty well. But well, we're just hopeful that it holds up now. He's as you all know, he's got issues with his knee, and it could flare up at any time.
Will he be able to train this week?
He had a run around today, which was very light. It was just a basically warm up. So the plan will be that he trains tomorrow. So we'll see how he goes.
And was that, again, his good knee that caused him the bit of issues?
Yeah, he just landed on it, and it didn't quite feel right after that. So
Coming with bad knees.
his bad knee's good. yeah, that's right. We might have to start talking about his being his good knee now, and his good knee's no
Well,
longer.
just an aside to that, do you have your own medical staff out on each Samara game to look after Daniel Kerr, or you just leave him purely to the block?
Yep.
And Nick Natnui, you said last week he was better than you and Scotty Burns about playing. How's he progressed this week?
Well, yeah, he's feeling good. He had a kick around on Monday, had just a run today. So things are on track, saying that he's getting a good response to the rest that he's had so far. So that's great. Now the challenge is at what point do we think he would be good enough to really train flat out without getting soreness? And that's that balancing act, how much he does before you actually want to try that. Because if he gets sore in that, it sets him back. So we're taking it very cautiously.
So
Will he train for you tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, no. So this week would be too soon. We can't ramp him anywhere near what he'll cop in a game in terms of workload to be anywhere near confident that he could get through any more than a half without getting back to where he was 2 weeks ago. So we need to test him a fair bit more yet.
Given the sort of strain, I suppose, with your injuries on your midfield, are you asking any more of Sherry Wellingham as the season finishes? Would you like to see him do more, even as a leader as well as a player?
Not really, no. I suppose what I would always answer is that he should be doing his utmost week in, week out. If he's hiding something, holding back, then it'd be nice. He could start offering that up. I'd love to see it. But, he's working really hard. A very interrupted year, but pleased with his attitude around the club and how he's going, and certainly pleased with what he's starting to show in terms of our midfield mix, even though we'll get through the season probably without having what we would call our best midfield mix out there together at any stage.
Can you talk a bit about Mark Hutchings, John, his character and work rate?
Yeah, well, his background is obviously drafted young, delisted, so then knuckled down and didn't just go back to play waffle footy and say that's it. He kept his vision alive of playing AFL footy, and he obviously had a mindset about being the best player he could be, even if it was just going to be at waffle level. I'm sure he would have been a good waffle player if he had gone back and just cruised through. But he's got an attitude about wanting to strive to get the best out of himself, and that has meant he created interest in what he was doing at waffle level. A club then had an opening to say that he would fit, and he's grabbed that. So things have fallen his way, and through all that, he's had the opportunity to play some good footy this year.
You happy with him?
Yeah, wrapped. Yeah.
Is he better than you thought he was? Do you think he's surprised you in any way?
No, I don't think he has. No, I think he's delivered what I would have expected as we call him mature age, but he's only turning 22 this year, I think. So he's still a developing midfielder. But the fact that he's played so much senior football at waffle level at such a high level meant I was confident he would cut it at AFL level straight away. It's a matter of how much upside he's got is the question that we'd be looking at.
John, you mentioned about the upside of the likes of Carter and Hutchings and players like that have been given an opportunity this year. Do you think there needs to be much tinkering with this squad to eventually get where you want to go with this group of players?
Not a lot, no. No, I think the squad's in pretty good shape. The challenge is not having the really good part of our squad sitting on the sidelines. We've been pleased with what some of the younger players have shown this year, but we need our current best players out on the field week in, week out.
Why do you think you've had an injury-racked season?
Yeah, I'd love to know the exact answer to that, but that's certainly one of the key things that we've got to address. Getting the injuries, you could try and work out why you got them in the first place. So we've got to try and look at that. And within our footy department, a few of us have got gut feel ideas about it, but we'll all get together and discuss what it means and what changes around the place.
Is that probably, to put, putting you under the pump a little bit, is that a priority in your review?
I think it has to be. I think a priority for any club is that if you want to win the premiership, you have to have your best team out there on grand final day. To get there, you need your best team out in the field most weeks of the season. So that's got to be our aim, and that's my feel is that's the area we've been well off the mark this year.